Some ESL activities look perfect on paper, but fail completely in the classroom. Why? The answer is not found in your students, it's how the activity works. Today, I'm going to show you 5 common ESL activities that just don't quite work and what to do instead. Most teachers will likely use these at some point. I know I certainly have used them before. But once you understand why they fail, you can fix them, adjust them, upgrade them, or replace them with something much more effective. The third one I share, I'm sure that I see this in almost every classroom, but creates almost no real language application. Let's get stuck in with number 1. Activity 1, word search. You give students a grid of letters and they find hidden vocabulary, hidden words. Sounds pretty handy and useful, but here's the problem. Students are not really using their language skills here. They're simply just scanning for letters. There's no speaking, there's no real thinking, and not much communication at all. Here's what you should do instead. Create groups or pair and add a rule. After they find a word, they must define it, use it in a sentence, or ask a question with it. It's a slight adjustment, perhaps a bit of competition too. And now the activity actually creates some language usage. Pro tip for you, word searches are better set for homework, especially if they've already practiced using the language in class. It also encourages a more valuable use of class time to showcase multiple language skills. Activity 2, traditional bingo. I was actually just speaking to my current group of TESOL trainees about this activity, so I'm certain that you know the drill. I'm sure you've played it before. Students listen and they mark words on a grid. Simple, very passive. Flip this around instead. Students create their own bingo cards, and now they have to describe the words, but they cannot say the direct words on their page. This helps them to produce language rather than just recognizing language through listening only. Here's my pro tip for this one. Limit the words on the sheet to target vocabulary only, or use it to review the lessons. Activity 3 is Chinese whispers. Shouldn't this be English whispers? Anyway, you know this one, right? A sentence is whispered from student to student. It's fun. In teams, it adds this competitive element. Students have a laugh, sure, but they're not really thinking much about the meaning of the sentence. Here's an improvement. Turn it into a message reconstruction race, like unscramble the sentence, that kind of exercise. The last student reads aloud the sentence, scrambled up, then the class or teams work together to correct it. Now your learners are analyzing the language, not just repeating it. Here's my pro tip. To keep the element of fun and keep that competitive edge going, try this one in teams. Activity number 4 is simply overused open questions. You ask, what do you think? What did you do yesterday? And you get silence. It's not because students are lazy or because they don't know what to say. You should adjust your approach, paraphrase, or write a few sentence starters on the board, and you can ask questions instead of, what do you like? Ask, do you prefer coffee or tea, and why? Rephrasing the question like this narrows down the topic and allows a more instantaneous response. You reduce pressure and increase participation instantly, just like that. Pro tip, if you still get that little bit of dead silence, try picking out a couple of the stronger students first. They'll build up confidence for the rest of the class. Activity 5, one-by-one speaking exercises. One student speaks, everyone else listens. That means only one student is really learning and speaking. Meanwhile, everyone else is starting to switch off or just disengage. Okay, look, 1 or 2 examples is a good way to begin, yes, but instead of continuing one by one, right after those 2 live examples, try putting them in pairs or groups. Everyone speaks at the same time. The teacher can monitor, listen, and assist. Really, this just means more speaking time and more learning. It's as simple as that. All right, so most activities don't just fail because they're bad. They fail because they don't hit the right receptors and don't engage in language skills. If you make these adjustments, your lessons will improve in an instant. I promise. If you want more practical teaching strategies, subscribe to the channel. And if you want to build real classroom skills and become a confident ESL teacher, check out our TESOL courses at Inspire, link in the description below. I'm Warren from the Teacher Trainers channel, signing out. Happy teaching. Inspire. It's to target vocab at the review and at the view and here's my pro tip. Here's my pro tip for this one. Limit the cards on the words on the, oh my God. 3, 2, 1. Here's my pro tip.